Alright, so I'm working on this CD4E out of a 2002 Mazda Tribute. And this thing actually got on my bench last night about 4 o'clock, and I had to strip it down because I wanted to get the parts on order that I need. But this again has your typical blown drum. You know, I have a video on it tearing down a CD4E, same problem, blown drum. And this is it's a common problem, and it's due to pressure spikes, usually due to valve body wear inside the valve body. And to correct that, and to correct these drums from blowing again, I put in a transco shift kit on every CD4 that I do. Okay, also, this is a new aftermarket drum that I'm going to be putting in, and this gets put in on every CD4 that I build, whether these drums are cracked or not. And the reason why that I do that is because not only can these drums crack externally where you can see it, these drums can also crack internally where you can't see it. And if you take this drum out and say, okay, well, you know what, the drum's not cracked, it looks okay, I'm going to put this back and save myself $70 on a new aftermarket drum. Well, I had a car here one time, and it definitely had a transmission problem. It kind of felt like it was binding up. Certainly wasn't a cracked drum, but I knew there was something going on. And I had the unit open at the time when I was working on it, and I found, you know, like the forward clutches, the forward and the coast clutches are on one side. These are your coast clutches, and these are the forwards, which of course are going to be bad from the blown drum. And here are your direct clutches. Here, these are okay as well, but again, you know, I'm going to be changing the frictions. I put a banner kit in these. And I found it actually a little odd to see like the direct clutches were bad, the forward and the coast clutches were bad. You know, everything was bad within this drum, and that's really nothing that I see, you know, on a regular basis. It's very common. So I started actually to play around with it. I put the drum back together. I didn't have the pistons out yet, and I got my pump, and the drum is going to fit over here. Okay, these are all your sealing rings, so it fits on here. And down here, okay, these are the apply holes for the clutch drums. And you know, as you're going back together with the transmission, you do what's called air check the transmission. Okay, so what that would mean is you take your air gun and you blow air to simulate oil pressure into the apply holes, and it applies the clutches. And you want to do this to make sure there's no leaks, nothing's going to pop out. You know, you want a nice solid air check with very little air I use. Okay, so what I was doing, because I found it very strange that all the frictions were burnt on the drum. So I wanted to check, I figured out which one was the forward clutch. You know, up here, we got the forward and the coast up here. And I had my finger pushing against the direct clutch. So as I was hitting the air for the input clutch or the forward clutch, the direct clutch was also applying. So what's going on with this thing, the reason why these clutches are all burnt out is because the drum is cracked internally, not necessarily externally. Okay, I don't know if that's due to high pressure. I'm not 100% sure. It's not something that I see a lot, but I think I've seen it at this point probably twice. So when I had this one down, I kind of thought, you know, I was thinking about it. I says, let me just make a quick video, kind of like a quick tip video on this drum. So I did want to share that with you guys, and I recommend changing this drum on every overhaul that gets done. All right, so here is what's left of the lip seal, you know, from the drum blowing here. And also another quick tip, this drum was pretty bad, and at this point, you know, these seals were torn and I was losing a lot of pressure here. But another way that you can tell if this drum is cracked, if it's not that bad, a lot of times what you can do is if the car won't move and drive, you hit the overdrive off button, and if the car at that point moves, then you know you're dealing with the cracked drum, because what you're doing actually is turning on the coast clutch when you turn the overdrive off. All right, so I just wanted to share, you know, that tip on this CD4E drum. And again, whenever I do these things, if this thing comes in with a broken band and everything else is fine, I'm still going to change this drum because they're such a problem. And to take these units in and out, and I got two pretty much very good installers. I would consider both of these guys A guys. And he started pulling this transmission out probably 9:30 in the morning. It got onto my bench actually probably about 4:15. That's how long it takes to pull these things out. And you know, to spend $70 on this new aftermarket drum, which I really don't have problems with, I think it's a pretty good investment, because you certainly don't want to do this one twice. And I guess that's about it for this one. I just wanted to share that tip with you guys on how important it is to change this double drum, forward coast and direct on this side, on this CD4E. And you know, when it goes back together, very important to air check this drum as well, just to make sure that everything is okay. All right, guys, so that's about it for this quick tip on the CD4E double drum. I thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. We'll see you next one.